Last presentation of the year, last assignment too. So hopefully it meets all the standards. Let me guess, I get myself framed here, and then we can go ahead and start it up. Okay, perfect. So this is my career and life wheel presentation. It is to hopefully demonstrate my thoughts on the subject, and obviously getting some goals in mind moving forward. So we'll just jump right in. This is my Wheel of Life ranking. Now, I know many Wheel of Life sort of presentations focus on just ranking all of these individually. I rank them in relation to each other. So just because family and love is at 9 and 8 doesn't mean it's not, as important to me. It just means it's more important than some of the other ones listed. So I can kind of get a top three, bottom three of what's going on. So obviously my top three are spirituality, family, and love. Those are extremely important to me. Especially as a Christian, I view relationships as pretty much above all else. That's pretty much the only thing we're going to be carrying into the next life. So, really wanted to focus on those things. Also, friends is in there, but obviously you only have three spots in the top three. You don't have four. Bottom three are fun, career, and money, not because they're not important, but just because they are less important to me than the relationship aspects. Plus, health is above some of those other things like fun, especially. Now, as far as health and fun are concerned, obviously, still want to be successful in that too. Health, I work out fairly frequently. Fun, I tend to go out with my friends. Again, relating to another topic there. So it's not like I ignore those by any means, but success in those areas is much less important to me than love, family, and spirituality will be. Obviously, career and money as well, they're necessary. However, success in those areas is going to look very different as well than it would in my general look at things. So, what is success going to look like according to that life well? So, like I mentioned, obviously, relationships are the most important factor to me. So, close relationships with God, first and foremost, spirituality being my highest ranked. Family is going to be second. That does include my wife, but obviously, I wanted to mention her separately as she's a very special member of my family. And then friends come after that, obviously. Now, obviously, there's some steps to be taken for all of those. First and foremost, for the God aspect, want to become more involved in church. I do go to church very frequently. I spend some time in my Bible. However, becoming more involved in a volunteer manner in my church would be very beneficial to my relationship with God, I feel. Spending more time with the in-laws currently, because of my schedule and her schedule, haven't been able to spend as much time as I would like with that side of my family. So I would love to go ahead and do that. I would love to continue to date my wife. Obviously, it's very important within a marriage not to lose that magic that you had when you were dating. So, continue to try to impress my wife daily is going to be another step in that. And then having intentional times with my friends is going to be another huge factor there. All of those things are stepping stones. If I can complete all of those, I will feel very successful in those three major areas of my life. Now, obviously, I want to talk about career goals as well. Like I mentioned, not my highest ranked, but although it's not my highest ranked, it is something that is going to be a factor. Obviously, in the time and age that we live, money and career are very important. So we're going to want to focus on that as well, and that's what this presentation is for. So for me personally, I would love to be a coach, either in youth sports or high school sports. But just generally speaking, I would love to be involved in youth sports generally. So as some sort of coach, director, trainer, something along those lines. I'm currently working as a referee in the poster that you see above, just in a lower level position in youth sports, just trying to get involved that way. So kind of already working towards that. Plus, already working towards an education in the general field of coaching, but ultimately my goals are to be some sort of coach, director, trainer, something along those lines. So what is success going to look like according to my coaching goals? So obviously career progression is the major one. Some sort of role in sports, right? So currently, like I mentioned, I'm a referee, but either becoming additional to that a volunteer coach or assistant trainer type area, that would be an awesome career progression there. And ultimately, I want to get some of those lower level positions in order to leverage them into more full-time position. Currently, I am not working in sports as my primary function, as my primary area of my career. So I would love to take this time that I have and the money that I'm making now to eventually move into some sort of full-time position. So either a head coach, positions, coach at a college or high school, or some sort of head trainer, something along those lines. And so some steps to be taken for this specifically, obviously, first and foremost, is gain low-level employment, like a referee spot, like a assistant trainer, like something along those lines, just to get a foot in the door, and start moving towards those more serious positions. And one way to do that is to gain more education. Obviously, I already have my bachelor's, that's in sports business. Right now, I am currently working on my master's in life coaching to build some of that more psychology aspect behind sports. And then following this, I plan on becoming a nationally certified personal trainer through the NASM, which is the National Association of Sports Medicine, just to become a very well-rounded, right? Hopefully, I will have sort of the business side of things, the psychology side of things for counseling and coaching, and then the sort of physical as far as the training certification goes. And ideally, through all of these, my education and flow of employment respectively, I hopefully will make connections. Obviously, the age-old adage of it's not what you know, it's who you know. That is proven true time and time again. So making connections in the sports universe is going to be crucial, and doing that through some of the lower level employment positions I'll have is going to be crucial to that. So some takeaways for success. Obviously, personal and career goals are going to look very different. But in my personal life, again, I want to focus on my relationships, right? That's the most important thing to me. If I made it through this life and had a ton of relationships, but had an unsuccessful career, I would see that as a win. So obviously, I want to focus on my relationship with God, my family, and my friends through those intentional times and being involved in their lives. Career-wise, it's going to look very different, but mainly at this point in my life, I want to focus on the stepping stones. So low-level employment is first and foremost, which I'm already kind of doing, but moving further into that. Gaining an education, also working towards that as well, but finishing that up. And then through both of those, making connections so that by time that I am done with them, I will have the ability to move and leverage those pieces into a more full-time position. So what will success look like ultimately? Ultimately, I will have a very work-life balance. Obviously, like I mentioned, career and money aren't necessarily that important to me in relation to some of the other things on my life wheel. However, they still are important generally. Obviously, I need to pay rent. I need to feed my family. So that is going to be crucial. But knowing when to balance that with creating relationships is going to be more important to me than that would be. So finding that balance is going to be crucial. More meaningful relationships, like I was mentioning, at creating those intentional relationships, that's going to be most important to me in life. And then having a meaningful career progression within the next 5 years. I'm already working towards those low-level positions. I've already taken some of those stepping stones in education, but within the next 5 years, ideally, I'll be done with all of those minor stepping stones, and I'll be able to leverage it into a more medium to full-time position so that I can move into a career in which I feel like I'm utilizing my talents most effectively. Not that I'm not doing that now, but obviously I'm not in coaching right now. So that's, ultimately where I want to see myself being. So that was my presentation. Hopefully it is thorough enough. I really have appreciated this class. I've gained a lot from it. And good news is I've planned to stay. So I really appreciate your time and effort, Professor. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.